The final day of business for parliamentarians in Aotearoa, New Zealand, has wrapped up before MPs officially hit the campaign trail. With the country's election day fast approaching, two of New Zealand's major parties are already going head-to-head, serving up a range of enticing policies. Our Pacific Issues reporter for election 2023, Lydia Lewis, spoke with National's Shane Reti and Labour's Kamo Sepuloni to find out what they're offering.
National and Labour are vying for two ticks from New Zealand's Pacific communities.
Cost of living,
health, education,
transport,
wage growth,
youth offending.
These things matter.
Both parties say they've consulted with Pasifika on what matters most, but one main issue has already been pushed to the side.
This is much more complicated than what people realise. We haven't nailed this yet, but we are continuing to do work on it.
That's Labour's Kamo Sepuloni talking about an amnesty for overstayers. She's confirmed no decision is to be made before the election.
It's not looking likely that that can happen before Parliament dissolves, but what we have committed to is continuing to do the work. We've said from the start this is not off the table.
A kick in the guts for Pakelau Manasseh Lua, a staunch advocate for an amnesty and the communities he serves.
The priorities for our communities haven't changed for the last 20, 30 years. Poverty is a huge issue, housing, they're all still huge priorities. However, what's even more important is what do governments show to our communities that show that they're meaningfully here to care for us and to do the things that we want, including things like supporting the overstayers who are here. What are you doing to help them? They're the most vulnerable people here.
A national-led government would not back an amnesty for overstayers, something their Pacific People's spokesperson Shane Reti has made clear.
We've looked at this and we're not generally in support of an amnesty for overstayers. We think that would send the wrong message, particularly to all the migrants in New Zealand who are doing the right thing and following the protocols. So our current policy settings are that we're not supportive of an amnesty for overstayers.
What National is focused on is addressing the cost of living, transport and health. Mr Reti says Pacific health providers are part of National's plan.
But I just can't tell you at the moment. So just hold your breath here a moment. I support our Māori health providers, our Pacific providers, and that primary care is vital to the health system going forward, and I will back that with policy. I just can't tell you here today. Watch this space, be pleased.
Labour is still very much in the watch this space phase of the election too.
We haven't released our manifesto in relation to Pacific peoples yet. That will spell it out really clearly when that is released. But for the last 6 years, we've been very much focused on the challenges that Pacific communities face, health, education, and these things matter. So many of the policies that we've implemented over the last 6 years have had a direct benefit on Pacific peoples.
How would Pacific communities benefit by voting Labour?
Well, certainly because we continue to be focused on low to middle income households, not the wealthy voters at the top.
How would Pacific communities benefit by voting National?
Several things. First of all, we're very good economic managers and will bring stability, a laser focus on dealing with inflation, which corrodes everyone's financial position.
Pacific communities make up more than 8% of the population in Aotearoa, an all-important figure come October 14, Election Day.